Shut up and sit down.
Shut up and sit down. You're listening to The Useful Idiots. Welcome back, everyone, to The Useful Idiots. This is Luke.
And this is Paul.
And we have a great week of political news for everyone here. A couple major headlines did hit us yesterday and the day before. And I guess we really need to go ahead and touch up on those.
Donald Trump, the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party.
Surprised? You surprised?
Not surprised. I'm not surprised that he won Indiana. I'm surprised that everyone just dropped out.
Even with Kasich and Cruz supposedly working together to win Indiana?
Yeah, I thought we were going to see a contested convention. Doesn't look that way.
Well, we could still have it. I mean, it does not mean necessarily that we're not going to have the contested convention. Do you think the Republicans really want Trump to be the nominee?
No, I mean, they don't, but I think they're just kind of like, whatever, fine. Let's just rally around Trump.
they're really kind of just biting the bullet on this one. I don't really see. I mean,
a lot can change, but that's how it's looking to me.
Do you think? I guess that Trump can win. If he is the nominee, do you think he can win?
He could, yeah.
Even
especially
with his high unfavorability rating, I believe it was 60% of the voting populace really just disliked Trump.
There's no denying that Trump is very polarizing, and that a lot of people don't like him. But did anybody see that he could make it this far? Did anybody predict it?
I'm sure there's some.
Except for Ann Coulter,
Ann
all
Coulter.
people.
Yeah, she she adores the man. I mean, I don't see any. I did not think he was going to make it this far. I had my doubts that anybody else could beat him.
I wonder what the odds. They have odds on the presidency. I wonder what the odds were at the beginning of the.
Yeah, let's get the Vegas odds numbers on this and we'll see what's going on.
Well, now they're very favorable, but I would say at the beginning they were probably very.
They're extremely favorable, especially facing someone like Hillary Clinton. I don't really see how she could win even against Trump. I would figure that anybody can go ahead and beat Trump, except for Hillary Clinton.
I mean, Hillary, what I would say is that there are women don't like Donald Trump.
Women don't like Hillary Clinton. More women like Hillary Clinton than like Donald Trump, but can you say women like Hillary Clinton?
Women hate Donald Trump. I don't know of any. I've yet to find a woman that likes Donald Trump.
I haven't. I mean, you go ahead. You have Ann Coulter. We just
okay. I don't know Ann Coulter personally.
Okay, yeah, she could be getting paid off anyways.
Possibly, we don't.
Yeah,
know
we don't really know that for sure. I'm just kind of.
We can explore that in a future.
Yeah, we'll explore
Useful Idiots episode.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and I did have a few questions I guess I wanted to bring up to you now that we know that Cruz drops out of the race. Let's go ahead and say first. Trump. Now that Trump's left,
it's a strange feeling, isn't it?
He
actually is it.
The Simpsons kind of called this, didn't they? The Simpsons called this one, which is I never believed that we'd have somebody like Trump running the country. Which,
he hasn't won the general election yet. There's a lot of politicking to go before November.
Most definitely, that's the only thing that you're gonna have every single. Major political party is going to be really working against Trump here, but he's already beaten the odds now. And I see that when you come out and you go and tell everybody that you're going to be more presidential, and then you actually do play the role of being more presidential after you say that, and your numbers of unfavorability was already going down. I only see it going up from here for Trump. I do not see it going down.
You think Trump's gonna be less Trump-like?
Yeah, he has to be. I mean, you just said women hate him, which is because he's Trump. And if he at least works on it a little bit, you can go and sway some uneducated voters. And I don't say uneducated in a bad way. I just mean you could probably sway some uneducated voters who weren't paying attention fully to Trump before, and then you see him only being presidential when you do start paying attention.
See, but the thing about Trump is that, you and I, we pay attention to politics way more than the average person.
Yeah, definitely.
we pay attention to people's political ideologies, their stances on issues, what they've said in the past. But with Trump, does any of this apply?
It doesn't. Yeah, I don't. There's really nobody, I believe, that is actually worried about the issues when it comes to Trump actually running. It's just what he stands for. And I mean, obviously, what he says is that do you want an outsider? It's really just the fact that they're looking for an outsider at this point. And he is saying populist beliefs, but I guess this kind of opens up perfectly with my note I was actually going to ask here was, does Trump actually care about the issues, or when the time comes, is it going to be just what's best for Trump, and he's going to go ahead and just pass whatever policy or act he needs to do for the populist view at the time, and he's just going to go ahead and do as long as his interests are always taken care of, does he really care about the actual any other issues? Or is he just going to go ahead and go with the flow, whatever the populist view is at the time? Because that's something I kind of I've been breaking down in my own head. I haven't fully thought about it, but that was just something I had to kind of pick your brain on.
No, that's a good idea, because Trump doesn't really... I mean, he'll say he's for one ideology, and then the next day he's for another ideology.
Exactly, yeah.
I think whatever is popular and whatever, if it aligns with what's best for Trump, or hopefully what's best for the country.
Hopefully, but yeah, we don't know. We're not expecting that at this point. We're kind of.
I think just Trump is just gonna. Well, it also is going to depend too on what Congress is going to look like. I mean, nobody's really talking about it now, but there's how many seats up for re-election. We could have a Democratic Congress, we could have a Republican Congress, and that's going to factor in as to what legislation gets passed in a Trump hypothetical presidency.
There may be a pretty big push among millennials right now towards this democratic in quotations socialism. With Bernie Sanders, but I mean, I do.
He did just win Indiana.
He did just win Indiana.
Oh, I actually saw a story. I didn't mention it earlier when we were talking off the air, but I saw a story this morning that Sanders won Indiana, but Hillary won the delegates
again.
From Indiana. Yeah,
another
I didn't read the whole story, but that was the headline I saw.
You would think that there would be a little more outrage. I have no idea where the outrage really actually is. I would figure that.
Some Sanders supporters I know they always seem to be outraged at this whole process. Yeah. But will they? The question is that will they go for Hillary in a general election if she wins, doesn't get indicted?
I'm pretty sure, or doesn't. Hopefully she does. But people who support Bernie Sanders do not support Hillary Clinton. I don't believe that there is anybody who.
Are they going to support Donald Trump?
No.
So does that mean they're going to stay home, or what? I have no idea what turnout's
I think they will stay home. Yeah, they'll definitely stay home. I mean, the same thing that's always happened with the younger voters. They end up staying home. They can be as loud as they want to be, but they end up always being really quiet.
They did show up for Obama, though, didn't they?
They did, but Obama did have a really good ground game going on. He was out at college campuses, registering people to vote and everything. It was a slightly different situation.
Obama he really burned bright when he was campaigning. Yeah. He was at the top of his popularity.
Yeah, definitely. That time. And Bernie Sanders he might have he doesn't even have a ground game that well. He really does just have a lot of angry people who like hearing what he promises stuff. Who doesn't like, if I was walking around as a politician saying every single man is going to go ahead and have a model for a wife. I'm probably going to have a lot of support, all right? Well, of course, who doesn't want to hear that? Every single female is going to go ahead and have...
what are they going to get?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of...
a loyal husband.
A loyal and sweet, kind husband who wakes up and cooks you breakfast every morning, Could you imagine how wonderful that would be? Vote for Luke and you got that, all right? So...
Where are all these models and wonderful husbands going to come from? That's the question no one will be asking.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not asking where the money's coming from for college and all that, I think they're not going to be asking where the people are coming from. All right.
Bernie he's really driving the narrative of the whole Democratic, what's the word I'm looking for? Election.
Oh.
On their side.
Yeah, I don't think that he understands that we don't live in a full democracy.
You mean a socialist country, or what do you mean?
Well, I mean, we just don't live in a. He calls it democratic socialism as if we're going to go and completely rid the actual system we have in place in America right now Like, I mean, as if people are actually really going to have a full say in the means of production here. That's what he's kind of like. That's what he wants, and he's promising things that based around his actual hope that he can go and get that.
And the thing too is that the things that he wants would all have to go through Congress, and is Congress going to go along with a $15 an hour minimum wage or free college for everyone? You know, I don't know if how these things could realistically happen, whether or not you know, the people wanted to, even if he actually was president.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have systems in place to go ahead and keep constraints on this executive power. We want to make sure that it's not just mob rule.
Do we really?
Let me be idealistic here and go ahead and just say what the...
well, we technically do.
Yeah, we
how
technically
well
do.
they work is another question.
Exactly. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump in, because I mean, Cruz did just drop out of the race.
Yeah, he's. I still hate the word suspended. The campaign.
Why? I have no
campaign
idea
is over. It's ended.
Where you end up getting this? Like,
because it was from John McCain when he suspended his campaign when he went back to Congress to do some stuff, and then he came back. It was like ever since then, everyone suspends their campaign.
Yeah, well, because you can still have a chance to win if you suspend your campaign. If you still actually have a large enough support that just isn't out voting at the current state, then at least you still have a chance to go ahead and get the vote. Maybe delegates in the next state and the state after that.
I suppose, but you know what are people going to keep voting for Rand Paul now for the election?
We would hope so. They could join me in the voting booth of that.
So yeah, Ted Cruz he dropped out of the race, and it seems like you found some interesting clips of Ted Cruz and Carly Fiorina.
I have. I mean, there are.
Was this from the concession speech, or when did this actually happen? That you were gonna.
Which one? The Carly Fiorina one?
She was singing.
It was she was singing. It was right after she actually got announced as the VP.
Had she been drinking at this point? Oh, this was before they conceded.
This was before they conceded. Exactly. This was when he tried pulling the whole stunt to go ahead and try and gain some support still. And just kind of shake, he wanted to get the media attention by throwing Carly as the VP, hoping that probably California would also be voting for him, being that he just chose a woman from California.
So wait, did that primary happen? That primary didn't happen yet, did it?
No, I don't believe so.
Wow, so that's going to save Donald Trump a whole bunch of money from having to advertise in California.
Tons. Yeah, and he doesn't have to try anymore. He just
it's
all his at this point.
He's gonna coast.
Exactly, but so Carly came out after she was announced as being the VP, just to go ahead and we obviously touched on this last show, how Carly was she was just trash talking Cruz not even a couple months before she became the VP candidate, and then obviously comes right out as a VP candidate. So there's already the issue with that. But then, of course, she just,
So if we trash Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, would we get cabinet positions? Is that how that works?
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, all this time and energy, I'm hoping it works for something here. Yeah. So do you find Cruz and Fiorina as unlikable as I do?
I mean, I want to like Ted Cruz.
We all want to like a constitutionalist, but,
But, yeah.
He's unlikable.
I wouldn't go that far, but I see what you mean.
He's unlikable. It's okay. And then not only that, to me, he's the most unlikable candidate besides Hillary Clinton.
If we had a Donald Trump personality with Ted Cruz's views, that would be a slam dunk for me.
For you?
Yeah.
I despise Trump's personality.
The way he could just tear into somebody, there's no denying
he's really good at that.
He could just flip whatever the narrative, the media, or another candidate throws at him on its head. And he'll either rip him on Twitter or in the media, and then he just controls the narrative. That's one of his strengths.
He is made of rubber. It's weird. Yeah,
it's like the more people rip on him, the more support he gets. It's just there's no stopping him.
There really is no stopping him.
Maybe there is, but
it hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet.
There's a lot of forces working against him. Okay, so here I want to just play a clip. I do find, like I said, Cruz and Fiorina the most unlikable duo to be running for president ever. I mean, I'm young, so I guess I don't really know too many, people that were running for office besides the past 3 election cycles. And I will say though, that I've never disliked somebody as much as these two put together.
Wow, that's very.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if you put up, I hate Bernie Sanders' views, but the guy isn't dislikable.
No,
Hillary Clinton's dislikable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. All right, so here
I don't even think I heard this whole clip that you're about
you
to
haven't.
play.
Well,
No.
I'm only gonna play one small little point of it, just because I want to go and show you how weird Carly is.
Okay.
She really got me thrown off on this one. But here you go. Oh, it's a little back. Let's go back a little bit here.
Singing there?
Yeah, her singing. Yeah. Here.
I know two girls that I just adore. I'm so happy I can see them more. 'Cause we travel on the bus all day. We get to play. We get to play. I won't bore you
I can't.
anymore.
I mean, I don't.
What is that song?
I don't know what song it is. I mean, I wish. I'm sure if I did a couple, like Google it for a second, I'd be able to figure it out. But it's weird.
We'll post that in the show notes.
Post it
what
in the
that
show
song
notes
is.
for sure. It's so weird, and it wasn't even. It didn't even come off sweet and cute. And you would hope that that was the intention of it, was to come
She's got
off.
a decent singing voice. I mean, it
You
wasn't.
think so?
I mean, it wasn't. It could have been worse.
Ye-
I don't know what that. I don't know what the song
Well, she's
is.
not
that
like
she's singing.
she's not like Celine Dion, but
No, not at all.
but she also she does not have a good voice in my eyes, at least. I don't know. So, I mean, you listening to Metallica, I'm sure you probably don't really care about singing at all.
Wow, shots fired there.
Shots fired. So that we have that clip of Carly, which she's got some other clips, of course, that make her unlikable in my eyes. But that one right away, I had to go
The
and
arsenal
play.
of Carly clips.
Yeah, the arsenal, and we also have an arsenal of Cruz clips, which he actually
I wouldn't call it quite an arsenal.
It's an arsenal. I could find 100 videos of this man twirling and twirling.
Oh, you're spoiling it here.
I'm
for
sorry. I had to go ahead and do it, all right? All right, so here. BuzzFeed, Ted Cruz went on BuzzFeed and actually did
When they were talking about Henry Scher retiring, he actually still stayed on, I think, with The Simpsons.
Yeah, who's Henry Scher?
He's one of the he voices many of the
One of the
characters
voices?
on The Simpsons, yeah.
And Ted Cruz was trying to take his place?
He was at this time, yes.
Right.
And it's kind of very strange to hear Ted Cruz do some bad Simpsons
Terrible,
impressions.
but it's okay.
I mean,
okay,
maybe-
I guess I can't do any better. These
No, well,
I can sing better than
maybe we
Carly.
could. We'll do the Luke Simpsons
Yeah, we'll do the Luke one after
impressions
this.
later.
Yeah.
Smithers, release the hounds.
Mr. Burns here.
Idly ho, neighbor. Oakley dokley, neighborino. One of the great exchanges between Homer and Lisa. But Dad, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat animals. But Lisa, animals are so delicious. There's the animal we get bacon from, the animal we get ham from, the animal we get sausage from.
Just.
Dad,
I'll keep
that's
pausing for a
all
second. You
the
gotta pause
Alright,
for a second.
we'll stop it right here.
No, I just, I'm cool. Keep listening. I just gotta pause for. That was not Homer. That's Kevin from The Office. And there's already the comparison of him looking like Kevin from The Office.
Comparison, they are the same person.
They are the same person. Just like him and being the Zodiac killer. You know?
If Kevin, I didn't see that one.
You
but
haven't seen that one?
No. If Kevin from The Office lost weight and grew some hair,
It would be
Ted Cruz.
It would be Ted Cruz. So he doesn't even do Homer. To me, he's just Kevin. Just. All right, keep playing it. I had to pause because I just.
All right, we'll finish the clip here.
magic animal that all the wonderful foods come from. Kang and Kodos. In one of the great classic episodes when they run for president. I'm running for president now, and again, it's really tough.
Not anymore.
You shouldn't compare yourself to.
Forward, not backwards. Upwards, not downwards. And always twirling.
Twirling towards freedom.
So, why don't you like Ted Cruz now? Exactly.
Just everything about him.
I mean, the 21-year-old Paul would have voted for this man instantly just on those clips alone.
those-
Didn't matter.
twirling and twirling.
Doesn't matter what his positions are or anything. Just the fact that he even tried to imitate the Simpsons
Yeah.
would have gotten my vote back
Well,
in the day.
okay. I mean, then do I have your vote? I mean, I'll go ahead and do it. It's like,
Well, I mean, you're not on the ballot.
not on
so-
the ballot.
No,
Oh, you
not
could
on the
write
ballot.
me in. Oh, I'm
I mean-
not 35 yet. It's
No,
fine.
I'm not 35 yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll like write it in crayon, Luke.
Yeah, there you go.
UsefulIdiot.net. Hey,
Yeah, nice little
ding.
plug. There you go. Yeah, no, I don't like. He does a lot of things, and every presidential candidate does this to go ahead and try and garner as much likability and support for themselves. They'll go ahead and put themselves out there just to do things that are a little kind of quirky and funny, just to kind of get their. Some people
Obama
like it.
has done a lot of those.
Obama's
quirky
done a lot.
things.
He's gone on like Ellen and Oprah and anything to go ahead and get that support. He's danced and done his all little moves and everything. He does a lot of things, but Cruz doesn't have the charisma for it. He's not charismatic enough to go ahead and be able to pull these things off. You know, I don't. How is he started off the first debate back when this whole thing started?
You have me defending Ted Cruz.
I know. I'm going. You know, that's good though. I'd rather at least. I defended Donald Trump yesterday when I was talking to my dad about some issues, and I caught myself having to. Why am I defending Donald Trump?
So strange how politics is.
Yeah, right. It? So, but in the very first debate, he said this, and it immediately pushed me towards his side of the camp. I don't really like Ted Cruz, but he did say that we're not looking for a guy that you can go to the bar and have a beer with. I want a man who's going to be able to go and drive me home, though. And Cruz says that that's who he is. And that was a perfect representation of what we do need and what he was able to go ahead and put himself as. And then he goes out and tries being super likable and doing weird things, trying to kiss his daughter on camera and
yeah, that
creepily,
was awkward.
It was awkward. It was awkward and weird and I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, every kid is going to go ahead and push away from their parents. It's kids, you know, but don't try and be so creepy about it. You're really forceful, man. Really forceful, all right?
Come here, you.
Come here, daughter. All right? And so it's overall just kind of, he's an overall odd man. And if you're odd, unfortunately, we do live in a country where we might be making a push right now towards this whole no bullying and safe places and all this. But you know what? The truth
the Republicans have the biggest bully as their nominee, right?
Which is why I think that's why he's got the support.
And possibly the Democrats might have the biggest bully and Hillary as well.
Yeah. So I mean, we still have, I think, though, that mindset that we just don't like oddballs. We don't like oddballs in the country. We don't like weird people. Overall, you have to admit, we just, as a country, we want kind of popular people, and Trump's kind of popular.
I mean, I'm going back to your analogy about Ted Cruz wanting to be the designated driver for America.
Yeah.
People don't want. I mean, you should always have a designated driver. Let me just say that.
Well,
but people don't want a designated driver. They want somebody to go get drunk with them, and that's Donald Trump.
That's exactly what they want. They want to go ahead and have 5 o'clock in the morning just stumbling in their door and not really realizing
your toupee is falling off.
Yeah. All that orange spray tan is just you got wet or something. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, you do want someone to go ahead and be able to party with, and I would say
metaphorical party with.
Yeah, no, literal too.
I don't think Donald's gonna come party with the useful idiots anytime soon.
You don't think so?
I mean,
we don't have enough
Donald Trump.
Yet.
If you want to come party with the useful idiots, come and feel free.
I'm more than happy to go ahead and take a couple shots with you, Donald Trump. All right. So, I guess we also should say now that we don't like Cruz, we got our point. Kasich's out. Kasich immediately got out as soon as Cruz got out. What is up with that? Why was he in, and why did he stay so long? And then why did he drop out the day after? Coincidence? Coincidence, Paul?
Are you suggesting that Kasich was in to take away votes from Cruz?
I did not want to go ahead and believe that, and I did not believe that until it happened. And then I'm like, well, that's too coincidental. And I guess we should say there's no such thing as coincidence.
It'll be interesting to see if we see a Kasich position in a Trump administration.
Yes, I actually was. I mean, I think that obviously we know Ben Carson's already supposed to be getting a place in there. Anybody who...
hold on. Let me interrupt you there just for 1 second. You know who I'm very afraid of being the VP nominee?
Who's that?
Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
Donald Trump has dug Sarah Palin out of relative obscurity, and she has been campaigning for him and appearing for him.
Political suicide, Paul. If he decides to do that,
could you imagine a Trump Palin ticket?
I think that the entire world would be looking at us with just a complete lack of respect. Yeah, complete lack. I actually supported Palin back when she was first the VP candidate for John McCain, but then I got smart.
There was a lot of enthusiasm for Sarah Palin when she first burst onto the scene, but it faded fast. And it faded hard.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't think she can. She should be a talk show host. Or
She's
she
come
should
out
be...
and said too many things that were definitely just stupid.
Yeah, I'll agree. I mean, that interview she did with, what was it, Barbara Walters, or who was the interview with, where she like didn't answer like what magazine she read?
Yeah.
Like
What newspapers do you read? You know,
all of them. Oh man, that was bad.
Great answer. You know, I mean, yeah, because she reads every single newspaper. She wakes up and goes to the store and buys them all and reads them all. You know, you have at least like 2 on hand ready to go ahead and just say that you follow. Heck, say Drudge Report. You get the conservatives right away.
Yeah, or you could say the New York Times, or the Wall Street Journal,
really,
Chicago
anything,
Tribune. You know,
I would
anything.
hope not Chicago Tribune, but okay.
Oh,
maybe even
I was
here.
trying to plug a local paper.
I know. I'm like, let's go ahead and try and boycott that as much as possible, if anything. All right. So, do you believe that? I don't know if you really take that as a serious question, but do you think that Kasich was in for any reason, any hidden reason?
I mean, he didn't get enough votes to really spoil Ted Cruz. It didn't seem like.
Well, I think it was in Pennsylvania.
But he was angling himself as a liberal, as you know. So that didn't make sense. If he was aiming himself as a conservative, more conservative, or as conservative as Cruz, I could see where he would steal votes from him. But Kasich thing just didn't make sense at all. Like he never. Did he win a state? He won one state.
He won Ohio. His
home state.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense. I mean, donors just must have liked him, which was, you know, how you keep going. I mean, that's why Rand Paul went out so early, because he didn't have a lot of donors. You know, a lot of rich donors, I should say.
Maybe. He needs to go ahead and work on his charisma also, Rand Paul.
You think so? I mean, Kasich, he's just not likable, and I don't know how he lasted so long.
I don't know why.
Technically, the second longest in the race.
Maybe it was just to try and beat Cruz. Maybe that's what it was. Just like, I'll last one day longer than him. You know.
But he, you know what? He kept saying, "I'm going to be in until the end. I'm here until the end I'm going to win." And he kept saying all this stuff that just on paper no one believed or made any sense at all.
I don't even think that there was any. Even his supporters were like, "We know you're not going to, Kasich." He
had supporters.
I think the 2 in around the country.
His paid staffers.
Yeah. His marketing team, so that's why it raises the question: why was Kasich in for so long? Why did he get out so quickly after Cruz? We may not have answers, and I mean, I guess mine would just be like, it's just an odd coincidence that, I mean, I had to go ahead and bring it up because, I mean, if that's what I'm thinking about, I needed to bring it up.
It could be the case of Republican donors just saying, it's got to be Trump.
Sorry, you think they just really just gave up and you just said, screw it, I'm just going to go ahead and...
I mean, kind of. That's kind of how the party, from what I'm seeing from the party, that's what's happening. They're just saying, whatever, I guess it's going to be Donald Trump. Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of sucks, I guess, for real conservatives. You know, he just is so far away from a true conservative or even a Republican. I guess the Republican Party's not even a conservative party anymore. Or the conservative party.
I mean, the reason why they don't like Donald Trump is...
He can't be bought and paid for.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, whatever his ideology is, I mean, and this is going back to why he appeals to people, is that he is his own,
he's his own man.
That's what people think, and we'll see if that holds to be true. But I mean, certainly with his wealth, that you don't think he can be bought. So maybe he'll try and do what's in the best interest for the country. At least that's why people support Donald Trump.
I'm still gonna, well, obviously, which
what he's going to do when he's in the White House if he wins, I have no idea. I have no idea at all.
Yeah, did you see the clip of Cruz approaching the Trump supporters? It was the day of the Indiana primaries. He walked across the street to Trump supporters, all obviously just rallying for him right outside the primary voting booth, and he walks up to them just to challenge them.
Ted Cruz,
and it's about 10 minutes on YouTube, and I figured I actually had the clip pulled up last night, but
I heard he got shouted down by the Trump supporters.
It was unbelievable. He should have walked away. He shouldn't have gone over there. Don't get me wrong. People who support Cruz despised the Trump supporters that were in the video. because they weren't saying anything of content or any actual like meaningful points against Cruz. Cruz was trying to go ahead.
So he's trying to reason with people who can't
He's
be reasoned
trying to
with.
exactly. He's using logic and reasoning against people who are just who were not going to support Cruz no matter what. They support Trump because they have a specific mentality. They are disenfranchised voters who are just turning out, seeing somebody who is just kind of being an outsider, and that's what they want. They don't want anybody else. So Cruz is trying to reason with people who are just standing there being like, Lying Cruz or Lying Ted, Lying Ted. They said that so many times, and Ted Cruz is like, "Are you gonna keep yelling at me? Are you gonna keep yelling at me? You're gonna listen to what I'm trying to say? Are we two real men?" I was just stunned that he made himself look like a complete jackass, complete and total, just jag.
I feel bad for Ted Cruz now.
You would if you watched the video,
scenario.
but he should have kept his nose out of those people's business. He really should have. He was not going to win him over. That was a terrible campaign call, like I should say, move on for his campaign.
I mean,
And then record it. I mean, just national television.
was this just somebody on a cell phone camera recording?
No, it was news. It was
like
Fox
a regular
News.
news camera.
Fox
Oh.
News standing right there, being like,
Ooh.
Ted Cruz calling Trump supporters whatever naive or something, as like the little headline, and then Trump supporters call Ted Cruz Lion Ted. It just
Well, if you starting to call Trump supporters naive is not your best move to try and get them over to your side.
no, exactly. He really did not go into it.
You didn't think it through.
He didn't think it through. He didn't at all. So we can truly say that Ted Cruz was not bound for presidency. We know that now. I mean, we could say
Not
that.
yet.
Not do you think he's gonna? No, he's dead. I mean, he's not gonna be able to come back next election. He's
Oh,
dead.
I would never say never. I would never say never.
Why? Just because Lindsey Graham can go ahead and come back every single election cycle and be on the second debate. Huckabee can go ahead and do well at one point. Rick Santorum can do well at one point and keep running 4 years later.
Well,
they keep trying. They keep trying when they can't get it. They can't make it.
I mean, Huckabee, I think missed his chance.
He definitely missed his chance. Yeah,
he
he
should
did.
have ran in 2012, because he had, he had a show and he had a little bit of momentum.
Definitely
Still,
from 08, yeah, he had some momentum.
yeah, he had some momentum. A lot of people didn't want Romney; they wanted somebody more conservative, and Huckabee was the front runner in some early polls. From what I remember, and he just decided that he didn't want to go against Obama because he thought he was going to lose.
Well, he
I
would
think
have
that's
lost.
what I mean. Maybe,
He would have lost.
but I think that was his best opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
The
still-
field
I
wasn't
would
as
agree.
crowded as it was this year.
Not at all. Yeah.
This year they were like, "Hey, there's no sitting president. Everybody's gonna run."
Yeah, we have 2 stages with 15 people on each stage.
Now watch. If Hillary wins this election, there'll be maybe 3 Republican candidates in 2020.
Yeah, I could believe that. And I mean, and any of them should be able to beat Hillary.
But just saying, a sitting president has the advantage in
Most
in
definitely.
an election.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go and I guess toss this across to you because I mean we'll go ahead and say we're already at a good time to be wrapping up some of the show I suppose, but I definitely want to go and throw one more thing at you. And would you be against the idea of Hillary actually being president?
I thought you were gonna ask me about a third party.
Well, you mean Glenn Beck and saying
we
that
didn't even get to
we
that.
need a third party. Should we go ahead and do it now? Yeah, it's called the Libertarian Party. The thing that you've called yourself for how long now, Glenn Beck? Why did you want to create a third party when you already have a third party?
I didn't even put 2 and 2 together that Glenn Beck's calling for a third party, but he already calls himself a libertarian.
There's a Libertarian Party.
There is a libertarian party, and there are libertarian candidates. Like-
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Libertarian candidates are not good either. All right. John McAfee. Why he is running for president of the United States is beyond me. The guy is wanted in Belize. He is still under investigation in America for possibly killing his neighbor. He's a drug abuser. He's married to an ex-prostitute. The guy is the worst. I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy is very smart when it comes to his views and even his policies. I even agree. But he's not a good face for presidents. Gary Johnson's terrible. I don't like Gary Johnson at all. And then you have Austin Peterson, the pompous jerk. Even if he is smart and well thought on his beliefs,
Out of the two of us, I didn't think you would be the one to tear down the libertarian candidates
know.
just like that.
Because I'm gonna go ahead and if I don't like you, I'm just gonna call you out. I don't like any of the presidential candidates right now. I would put my weight behind Austin Peterson. Besides all the I see all the candidates, Austin Peterson would be my option as of now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's pompous.
When I told you, when I played it, I sent you a clip personally to you. It was Austin Peterson, and I was like, "Hey, I kind of like this guy," and you were like, "No, Austin Peterson's blah blah blah."
Well, I gotta tear you down. I can't let you live in a moment of.
But now you're like Austin Peterson. He's the best one out there.
Yeah, he still is like the smartest one, I should say, on the libertarian ticket.
I did see a statistic that said the day after Ted Cruz conceded or suspended his campaign, that libertarian people registered
Party,
to the Libertarian Party like doubled in like a day.
That's pretty amazing. That's an amazing statistic. I'm really happy to see that.
They probably didn't know about the candidates.
Yeah, they had no idea about the candidates. At least John Stossel finally had a debate for the Libertarians on Fox Business, which was the first televised Libertarian debate. Which means at least they're trying. At least they're trying somewhere.
Yeah, I haven't seen a Green Party debate anywhere. Is there? Are there multiple candidates running on the Green Party?
I doubt it. Is Ralph Nader still running for?
Hey, it could be Bernie Sanders if he doesn't get the nomination. You think he'll run in third party?
I believe that in a perfect world, Bernie Sanders...
It sounds like he's going to support Hillary if she wins.
He already said it, and he will, because he's a what do you call it? A wet noodle? I don't know what.
I think you're going to say a diehard Democrat.
No, he was an independent, a lifelong independent. He
Oh, that's true.
It's just that he has no backbone. He's got no backbone. Like Hillary Clinton, there's no reason she should be getting the nomination.
You think he needs a little bit more of a Donald Trump aspect to his personality?
Yeah. Why would you go ahead and be in politics knowing that it's the... Kasich even started getting rough after a little while. He tried doing that whole buddy campaign for so long, saying, "I'm the nicest guy running for president."
When all accounts are that he's a big jerk.
He's a big jerk. I've heard it, all right?
What were you going to ask me before I interrupted you with the third party thing that I was saying?
I can't remember. It was, I believe we were talking about Glenn Beck, and was it before that part?
Before that part.
Before
you're going to ask me a profound question, and I interrupted you with the third party.
Yeah. Okay. Do you, and I've been thinking of this for a little while, and I'd be really happy to see how this actually plays out if it happens. I'm okay with Hillary Clinton becoming president.
What?
Bombshell. I know. Bombshell, right?
You're like the Republican establishment.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping that she completely in the next 4 years.
You think she'd go to the center if she was the president? If there was
she's
a Republican
already
candidate?
in the center. She doesn't even really actually have very strong she just knows what to say. Is she a far progressive nut job? Yes, but she also is a proponent of war and anything else. She's just not really. She's not really on the left. Do you
think she's more of a liberal Republican than a liberal Democrat?
Yeah, she's a liberal Republican. That's exactly what she is. But I'd be okay because I do believe that no matter who is the president in the next after this election, whether Republican or Democrat, we will have a deep recession. It is showing now. I believe we will end up having a deep recession, no matter who it is. So why not put in somebody with their crazed policies, such as $15 minimum wage and free college?
I'm not sure which crazed policies you're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. $15 minimum wage, free college. Go ahead and promise all these things and try and do them while the economies probably are going to crash anyways. Go ahead and see how it turns out. We're going to go and have so many voters despise the belief that we could have Democrats running the country anymore. That's going to have to go to the right.
I don't know.
You don't see that as a possibility?
No, I don't.
You don't see? Do you see us going into a deep recession, possibly causing?
I mean, it's impossible for me to predict when a recession could happen.
For you, you're obviously
Well, they've been talking about another recession happening for years now, and it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, well, because the Fed. I mean, the Fed's going to go ahead and keep on just.
Well, they've been doing the quantitative easing, and another story came out today that the Fed surprise, the Fed's not going to raise interest rates.
What?
Yeah, the Fed is going to keep interest rates low.
Yeah, exactly. Going to keep on artificially just holding or
propping up the economy.
Yeah, there you go, propping up the economy. What is this, QE3 now?
QE 7000.
QE 7000. Yeah. I just keep on going till the end of time. It's like, even if you go ahead and artificially go and help out the economy, it's eventually going to go ahead and have the invisible hand go ahead and just, and it's going to fall apart. It's going to fall apart. It's natural. It has to happen. And whether it's going to happen when you go ahead and lie about it the entire time and finally just collapse on you, compared to at least when you just allow free market to just go ahead and do it.
There's no candidate out there right now that's going to allow the free market to... There's going to be more government intervention, whether it's Trump or Hillary.
Third party.
But you just tore apart all the libertarian candidates.
Doesn't mean that I don't. I still support them more than the other people, and I guess that's one thing that I should go and make clear, that I do at least support the Libertarian Party more than the two major parties as of right now.
Well, I guess I sort of agree with you, but I just don't think I'm still
What we
I'm
should
not
do
quite
is,
there yet.
Yeah, I understand if you're not there yet. I wasn't there not even 2 weeks ago. I finally just got there now. You should go ahead and email Glenn Beck saying the Useful Idiots host Paul wants to go ahead and run as your third party candidate, and we'll go ahead and see what our answer is on that one.
He's gonna be like, "Who are you?" It'll just go into spam probably.
Yeah, he'll never get it. All right. So, anything else you want to throw in there really quick? I mean, we touched on your Glenn Beck and everything. Unless you want to talk more about Glenn Beck.
I do. I used to love Glenn Beck, but I think it's so weird being on the outside looking in. To be perfectly honest, I used to be a pretty big Glenn Beck fan a few years ago, and kind of got out of him, just kind of drifted towards other things, and now that he's full on out for Ted Cruz, like I feel weird on the outside looking in, and he's saying all these crazy things like Ted Cruz is God's candidate and
sent from God directly. Yeah, exactly. He
and
makes all these crazy things.
it just makes me not want to vote for Ted Cruz.
Well, yeah, because I enjoyed Glenn Beck until I saw how much he adored Ted Cruz, and he's kind of a nut job for him. It's like a cult, But I watched a video, another thing, obviously in the Fiorino clip. There's another clip of Glenn Beck on stage talking about how Ted Cruz is the savior, and he brings this little kid, maybe 7 years old, on stage. And he just says, "Hey, Billy," we'll just call him Billy for the story here. Billy here, and Glenn Beck's starting to tear up and everything. And Billy hasn't told me this, but his father did. He fasts as in like you don't eat every Tuesday, in the hope that Cruz will go ahead and get his prayers will be answered and Cruz will win.
Wow!
And the kid starts bawling his eyes out, and Glenn Beck's ready to go and cry. And I mean, it was weird. It was extremely weird to watch.
That sounds weird. Glenn Beck talks about fasting himself.
Yeah.
He fasted on Tuesday at the day of the Indiana election.
I have no issue with people fasting for religious. I know Christians. I used to be a diehard Christian, and people fasted in the belief that God would go ahead and answer your prayers because he obviously does not want to see you suffer. I completely understand why they're doing it, and it's like I have no issue with it. Fine, it's your own religious belief. You want to go ahead and do that. It's just when you get a 7-year-old doing it, and you kind of pull him on the stage, and he doesn't even know that you know about it. It's a political candidate.
Yeah.
It's weird and creepy, and I don't want to see that really. I just don't.
No.
Yeah, I don't like
even
seeing
Glenn Beck doing it is kind of weird.
It was weird. I didn't know that he did that. That's why
saying that Ted Cruz is God's candidate, and he all this stuff about God and America and how Ted Cruz is this and that.
Plus, isn't Glenn Beck a Mormon?
He is a Mormon.
I didn't know that Mormons and evangelists were friendly.
I guess they are. They have an alliance.
They must be, yeah. I didn't know this, but all right, yeah. That's why I was a little surprised when I hear Glenn Beck talking about him. I just we have people like Mark Levin and Rush and everyone kind of throwing their weight behind Ted Cruz, and then
I don't think Rush is officially.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, in fact,
he kind of tried to stay neutral throughout this process.
I think he usually does that, doesn't he?
I believe so. Yeah, he doesn't really endorse in the. All he cares about is defeating the Democrats. Rush.
Totally fine. Yeah, totally. I'm with you on that one. Sure. All right. Anything else you want to tie up real quick? Because I believe that I have all my notes already covered for
the day. I don't got anything else right now.
Well. I mean, I know we'll have something if we just stop talking, and someone else will come up, I guess. But. For the day, though, we're good. We're good today. You know what, Paul? I'm going to give you the opportunity to close us out today.
All right. We'll see you next time. Visit us on usefulidiots.net.
That's useful.